Yeah, so it just came about because I'm sure like everybody else, we're kind of stuck in our houses, but we know that there's so much good that needs to happen, and there's so many things we can be doing. And so I was looking around on Facebook, and I saw that a town near us was doing a similar project where they were reaching out to people for donations in their town, and then taking those donations and hiring the restaurants to cook and then deliver meals to first responders, hospitals, fire departments, police departments. And I thought, oh, that's such a great thing. Why wouldn't, why can't we do that in Norwood? And then being friends of Norwood Center, I have like a lot of like new contacts with businesses, in Norwood Center and around Norwood. And I thought it would just be a good project for Friends of Norwood Center, because we had so many things like everybody else. We had so many plans for the spring and the fall. Not that those aren't still going to happen, but we kind of had to table those. And I thought this would be a great new project for us to work on. So I just kind of put it together very quickly, and I was working really hard that night. I checked with people on the board of Friends of Norwood Center just to say, hey, is this a good idea? Should we go ahead with this? And everyone said yes. And so I was furiously coming up with a hashtag and starting a GoFundMe. And everyone around me in my house was trying to get my attention. I'm like, no, I need, don't talk to me. I need to do this. And it turns out somebody else was at home that night thinking of this, literally the same hashtag and the same project, some people. And thankfully they reached out to me, and that would be Matt and Juliana. So that's where I pass it off.
Yeah, I am. Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Megan.
No, go ahead, Matt. That's awesome.
No, it was funny. Me and my cousin, Juliana, were in discussions on, how do we help? How do we help? And the Nord feeds the front lines is literally a word or two away what we thought of. And I remember, we were trying to think, how do we get the money and how do we set it up? And I can't believe I didn't even think of GoFundMe, but we were going through PayPal, and we're in the final steps. And she sent me a picture of the GoFundMe that, Charlotte set up, and I felt a gut punch to the stomach. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, they beat us to it. We can't do anything. And we had a conversation, and rather than they beat us to it, it was they got their ducks in a line quicker than we did. So I reached out and said, hey, is there any chance that we could team up with this rather than stepping on each other's toes? And Charlotte opened her arms and said, absolutely. Absolutely. And I was blown away. I was so happy that she was so open to it. And then really from there, it was on Wednesday. Those next 3 days, we really just took off with brainstorming and figuring out what was next.
Obviously you're Matt's cousin, but how did you get involved in this, and how, why did you want to give back, and, what's your background?
Well, I have a leadership role at the high school, so I'm the junior class president. So we do a lot of community service, and we try to give back as much as we can. And obviously having Matt as a cousin helps to have, he's a very big role model. And so he was talking about it with my dad at first, and they both encouraged me to help because I'm not doing much around the house anyway. So it's a great way to give back. And so I started brainstorming, and we came up with different ideas of different groups in the town that would need help at this time. And then we talked to Charlotte because I had reached out to my administrator for the student council to see if we could get the high school involved with it as well. And so she had sent me actually the GoFundMe that had already been started, which is how we found it. And so I sent it to Matt, and we reached out to Charlotte, and we started coming together. And so I've kind of taken more of the social media aspects of it. I handle the Instagram and the Facebook, and we're also getting the high school involved by doing weekly challenges through our student council Instagram, and for every person that participates, we donate $1 from the student council fund.
That's awesome. So have any of the high school students, obviously you're trying to get them involved, have any of them shown like interest or wanting to give back and help you with
Yeah,
this?
we started our first like weekly challenge yesterday, and there've been probably like 25 students at least who have started the challenge, and hopefully we'll finish it by Friday. So then we'll donate that much money this week, and next week we'll have a new challenge for students to hopefully participate in.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So your goal is to feed the front lines. What is the, obviously you're trying to raise money on GoFundMe, which we can put that information up, of course. What is, the end goal? Is just to keep supplying through this crisis, or, to help out families, something like that, or is just, strictly the front lines?
Well, we talked about it together, and we, of course, we want to feed the front lines first, which is right now the people that are receptive to donations are the Norwood Fire Department and Norwood Hospital. We also realize that there are a lot of people are food insecure at this time, and that Norwood Food Pantry steps up and makes a lot of donations, and those levels are down right now just because people are not able to donate at this time. So we were talking about if there is extra money, or down the line we would like to make a donation to the Norwood Food Pantry.
Awesome.
But
have you guys
literally just got an update. We have a point person who does all the liaison with the restaurants and the hospital and the fire department, and she just set up the first delivery for Norwood Fire Department tomorrow, and it's going to be food prepared by the Common Cafe.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have a lot of restaurants in town that are interested in doing this? That want to help out and deliver, and obviously you guys are raising the money and stuff, but any restaurants stepping up and helping as well?
Matt, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we have a great list that we've been adding to, and there's so many that are that are ready, and once we call on them, they're going to be the next ones up, and it's so special, just to give back, and you're really knocking off a few birds with one stone with the way that we're supporting these local eateries, but also like Charlotte said, giving back to those that are on the front line, that are facing this terrible crisis right now head on. So we are super excited. As Charlotte said, we got the Common Cafe tomorrow, but we got plenty more down the line that will be taken care of.
I love that you said that, Matt, because we've done a couple PSAs about, trying to encourage people, eat local, order out, take out local, and you guys are doing that. So you're not only raising money for the front lines, you're also kind of raising money for these restaurants and these local eateries, and you're, like you said, killing two birds with one stone, but you're helping two causes, to be honest. It's not just feeding the front lines. You're doing both of it. Have you guys thought about donating like a meal to the grocery store workers, or can they not accept it?
I was talking about that with my dad. He said maybe instead of doing that, we haven't talked about it, but this was just an idea that we had, was buying gift cards from the grocery stores and seeing if we can find senior citizens or people who need groceries at this time, who are out of work or are not struggling, and giving them gift cards to spend at the grocery stores.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just an idea I had.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Is there any, how can people help? Who can they reach out to? Obviously it's on Facebook. But if someone had a question or they wanted to donate, how can they get in touch with you guys?
I think we got on the press release, my name and contact is on there, as well as Mary Ellen's. And I think right now, just that GoFundMe is the biggest draw right now. the more money we raise there, it's just going to help so many others down the line. And I think we're getting close to upping that 10,000 number to 15,000. We are right there at that 10,000 number, which I'm blown away at, but I'm not surprised with such a great town.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And it shows, the community Norwood is, and Matt, that firsthand. And, it's people are at home, they're struggling right now, but everyone's coming together, they're giving, they're, helping the Norwood community, which is awesome. So you guys are doing an unbelievable thing, and I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm so happy that, Charlotte opened up her arms the way she did, and we're on the way to helping a lot of people in such a time where people need a hand.
Absolutely, that's awesome. Do you guys have
Yeah.
anything else, or did I catch everything? Did I miss anything?
I just, I was talking with Mary Ellen, who is doing our scheduling for us, and she helps us with the Friends of Norwood Center. And I had remarked that we had received a very, very generous donation from Circle of Hope. And Circle of Hope is an organization that Charles River Running regularly donates to after our road races. And I feel like I said, we're just, Nora, we're trading money back and forth. And Mary Ellen said, a family, right? We just trade our money back and forth. And I thought that was such a
Cool
thing to say, because we are like a big family, and no matter what, Norwood is going to help out Norwood. It's such a beautiful thing. So